Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We back again, man. And it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the weekend banger. And I got one. That's a lock. I keep one. But like I always say before I start my videos, I have no problem delivering this content, making sure y'all got something to watch every day while y'all at work. I have no problem doing these things. I have no problem looking out for my truck drivers while they're on the road. I have no problem doing this. I'm promising y'all. I have no problem warning y'all about how dangerous prison is. I have no problem doing these things. I just need y'all to do one thing. Just stay out the way, man. That's it. Stay out the way. Why wouldn't you want to stay out the way? I'm telling you, man. I need you to stay out the way because I'm tired of seeing these little kids out here raising themselves, man. Let's start there. Every time somebody gets locked up, every time a father leaves, y'all already know what the situation gonna be next, man. It's a good chance your son gonna follow in your footsteps. It's a good chance your daughter can follow in your footsteps, man. We gotta stay out here. If we stay out here, we got a good chance of raising the kids how we want them to be. It's so much violence and stuff going on with kids and the young dudes these days because nobody has no father figure around. There's nobody leading them the way they're supposed to go. If we stay out here and be real men and don't leave our kids for prison, if we don't choose to put the streets ahead of our family and go to prison over than taking care of our kids, the kids will be better. I'm telling y'all, man, we got to start there, man. Let's stop leaving these kids going to jail, going to prison, man. We got to be out here, especially during their teen years, middle school, the end of elementary, all that, man. That's when kids is getting curious, man. We must be out here for that, y'all. So we got to stay out the way just for that particular reason right there, y'all. That's it. So period. But y'all already know what it is, man. It's the weekend banger. Y'all already know what I need y'all to do with this one right here, man. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called Who Stole My Prayer Rug? Yeah, man. Crazy story right here, man. And unfortunately, man, you got slimy dudes in prison, like I always tell y'all, man. Prison is the home of the slimiest. That's where all the slime balls are at. I'm promising y'all, man. And a lot of people do things in there and they don't care about what the repercussions can be. You know what I mean? Something as big as stealing somebody else's property, that can land you a lot of problems in prison. That's something you shouldn't want to do when you go to prison, take somebody else's property, especially if you're stealing it. That brings major problems, man. When stealing goes on in the pod, usually it's going to be violence every time. Every time behind somebody stealing, man. Stealing is not something that you should look at lightly in prison because every time I seen stealing going down, there's always been repercussions, man. So with that being said, we are on Greensville for this story right here, y'all. We on Greensville for this story right here. Go home pod game. That's where we at, man. I'm at the end. But I already explained to a lot of people that have been watching my stories. If we on Greensville, that means I'm about to go home. That means I only did a year and change on this compound. But I am in the go home pod. As I stated to y'all in several stories when I talk about the go home pod, it really wasn't a go home pod. Yeah, dudes were going home in there, but it was a lot of maniacs running around there. There was a lot of dudes that ain't supposed to be in that pod. They had that pod made to whoever they wanted to be in that pod. That's how they chose who was going to be in that pod. I told y'all the only way I got in that pod and was able to stay in that pod because they moved me over there because they needed space from the intake. When I got into it with my roommate, when I get over to in the pod, I knew a dude from Lawrenceville was telling me like, yo, it's better than staying over here than going to the real reentry over on the other side. So he said, just holler at the sergeant and she'll let you stay. Now, I knew the sergeant lady from Sussex. Now, I didn't know her like we cool or nothing like that. But when I know her on Sussex, she was a CO. She probably didn't even remember who I was. But when she was the one that moved me over to that pod. But when I got over there, I went on and hollered at her like, look, they say this pod, all right. Like, I'm trying to stay over here. I go home and, you know what I mean? March 17, I'm trying to stay over here. If it's cool with you, like, I like it over here. You know what I mean? And I just kind of like saw that the pod, even though it was mixed up with psychos and dudes going home and old dudes trying to make parole and predators, all that was in there, I still saw that this was a better place than what I was hearing about. Now, they had a place on Greensville that was strictly reentry. Reentry, when I say reentry, that means people got to go there to reentry out, to go home on the streets. Now, they had a whole side where they have a whole reentry side. So when I went to Greensville, I heard all the stories before I went, like, yo, bro, that reentry joint, that joint like real prison. That joint crazy. When you get there, that joint will be crazy, I promise you. So I heard the stories before I got on the compound. So when I got on the compound, I was thinking that's where I was headed, because I'm feeling like I can do time anywhere. So I ain't tripping because I got a year left. But when I got into it with my roommate and she moved me over to the pod I'm talking about, the other go home pod, which just was a separate go home pod, like I saw what was going on. It kind of reminded me of the honor pods I tell y'all about in Lawrenceville. But I saw that this was kind of like, it got to be better than sending me to Wild Maniac Land where I was supposed to win at. So when I went and hollered at the lady, she agreed, and they'll let you stay in there as long as you don't get in trouble. As soon as you get in trouble, she's sending you back to the wild joint where you're supposed to be. So she let me rock. So I'm in the pod. I have noticed everybody that's in there. Like, I done started like deciphering what's going on. I see how the phone situation is being ran. I see who's deep, who's not deep. Like, it's regular prison in there. Dudes is on their P's and Q's. Like, they not really trying to mess their time up. But like I told y'all, there's regular people in there. So you see a lot of regular stuff. So at this point in time right now, I'm talking about, man, like, this is kind of like when I first moved in the joint. This was like one of the first incidents kind of that I witnessed outside of the incident with my roommate. I did a story on that already, but this was one of the first ones too, man. I can remember a time. Now, I came in the pod. They moved me over there because they needed space. I moved in the cell with this white dude that was about to go home. So I was able to get the bottom bunk after like 5 days. So he went home. I'm in the cell dolo. I ended up getting another roommate before I got the young boy in the cell with me. So I had another older dude in the cell with me. But I can remember when the older dude moved in, he came in with this dude named Mike. And the only reason I knew his name is because my roommate told me who he was. But I can remember Mike being like a quiet dude. Mike was like a brown skinned dude. I never knew where he was from. I never asked. I wasn't even trying. I told y'all when I was about to go home on the Greensville stories, I'm not really doing resumes. I'm not really scanning like I used to, y'all. The scanning is going down. Even my predator radar detector wasn't working like it's supposed to all the time because I was about to go to the crib. But I never really kept up with who was from and what. I just knew it wasn't a lot of dudes in there from Norfolk. I was like one of the only ones. So it was a couple of people in there from Tidewater, like Newport News, the beach, stuff like that. But as far as my city, it wasn't a lot of people in my pod. So when my roommate told me who dude was, you know what I mean? He said they was in a block together on the other side, I think he said S1 or something like S2, one of them jumps. He said they was on the side together in the same building. You know what I mean? He was like, but no, dude, he was telling me about dude. He was like, nah, Mike, cool. But what I saw from Mike would look like a quiet little brown skinned dude. He looked like he probably was like 26, 27. So if he got moved to our pod, I'm thinking he's about to go home. You know what I mean? Now, you can have probably like 2 years and still be over there. You know what I mean? You don't got to be as short as I was when you get in that pod. I'm guessing Mike really ain't got time like that. That's what I'm really guessing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking he's short just like me. So Mike moved in the cell, man, with another dude that they said hasn't been in the pod for a long time as well. It was like that pod steady. It kept flipping because they had people in there going home. Definitely, like I'll say, like 40% of the pod was going home. You know what I mean? The other 60% was scattered in whatever they wanted it to be. But they moved Mike in the cell with a dude named Walter. Now Walter probably was like in his 30s. You know what I mean? Walter wasn't one of them dudes that, from what I viewed from him since I've been in the pod, like he isn't one of those loud dudes, starting stuff dudes, ain't in the gang. You know what I mean? I want to say Walter was from Petersburg, or you know what I mean? He might have been from Hopewell or one of the two. I don't think he was from Richmond, but he used to be with that little crew. But he was just in the joint, you know what I mean? So he asked me why I was locked up with. The way I started talking to Walter, he asked me why I was locked up at. I told him I was on Lawrenceville and Sussex, so he knew everybody. Like he started naming dudes. I'm like, yeah, I was up there with him. So me and him used to kick it like that. Now, every now and then, Walter will come through, you know what I mean? Like, what I noticed about Walter really didn't have a lot. You know what I mean? He didn't really have a lot going on in his life as far as like with him being short. I never asked him, was he short or not? Or was he about to go home? But all I knew is Walter didn't have a lot of help. You know what I mean? I knew this before Mike moved in the room with him. Like, he didn't really have a whole lot of help on the streets. His family didn't look out for him, send him stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he would really get a lot of his stuff in the rough. Walter would be the one going to the chow hall all the time. You know what I mean? Eating the trays that we really don't want to eat. And you know what I mean? He'll be like, yeah, to him, he'll be in there crushing the trays. Now, you have people that have to do this. Everybody's not fortunate enough to have people that's going to look out for them and send them money. Like, it gets rough in there. So, like, you got to take care of yourself at times. So that's what they moved Mike in the cell with. So when I see Mike going to cell with him, I was thinking kind of like, maybe that's a good thing for Walter, you know what I mean? Like, because I seen when Mike came up there, he had a TV, he had everything he's supposed to have, and Walter ain't had nothing, you know what I mean? Walter ain't had nothing. Walter didn't look like a dude that was super broke or bummy or nothing like that. He just ain't had no help from the streets, you know what I mean? Like, he kept himself together, kept himself groomed, you know what I mean? He didn't look like a bum, you know what I mean? But I just thought since the dude Mike is moving in the cell with him now, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that could be a good thing. So as my roommate started telling me more about Mike, he told me Mike was also a Muslim, you know what I mean? So this part that I'm in right now, the go home part, was kind of the first parts that I've been in that the Muslims doesn't have like 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes. You know, that's Muslims, maybe more. You might be in the part, it's like 10, 12 dudes that's Muslims. Now, especially on Lawrenceville and Sussex too. Now, when I moved in here, it was an old head, one of the old heads that go off for parole, you know what I mean? That's trying to make parole. And I can't remember his name, but he was an old head, man. He had one of the classes and he was a Muslim. You know what I mean? Then you had a couple of other old heads that was in there. They was in Morris Science Temple. And when Mike moved in, he was another Muslim. So Mike moved all this stuff up there. You know what I mean? They in the cell together. I see Walter come out, let him get his stuff together. You know what I mean? So I come out in the pod. I'm out in the pod chilling. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to get on the phone. I see the dude Walter. Walter come out and start walking by. I was like, yeah, you got a good celly now? He was like, yeah, I hope so, man. He was like, yeah, he a Muslim, man. You know, he from Northern Virginia. You know what I mean? He was like, man, I hope he do, man. I hope he is a good dude, man. You know, I hope he cool, you know. Like, I ain't trying to get in nobody's way, man. I was like, yeah, man, he look like he cool. I was like, my roommate said he cool. You know what I mean? He was like, I hope he is, man. So they went on and became roommates. You know what I mean? They became roommates. Now, the whole time Mike was in there, man, like, Mike kind of was like a dude that didn't really talk to nobody for real. Like, he would go out, like he had Muslim brothers upstairs in the pods upstairs. Upstairs from us was regular population. You know what I mean? Like, they had anybody in there. So like, he had Muslim brothers up there. You know what I mean? Like, you would see him go outside and talk to them. You would see when he go to Juma, like he'll get on the phone every blue moon. Like, he really didn't talk to a lot of people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of like sometimes I would look at him and it would be I'll be seeing that he'd be having his nose turned up at the pod. Like, that's what it looked like. Now, I'm not saying he was a bad Muslim or he was doing something wrong by just looking at the pod like this was disgusting. Anybody will look at jail or look at the prison scene just with your own 2 eyes and be like, man, I'm never coming back here. But Mike kind of just used to never really rock with nobody. I didn't see dudes try to talk to him. He wouldn't really talk to nobody. He would talk to like 2 people. You know what I mean? So I never knew if Mike was gangster or if he was tough. I never knew none of these things. We in a go home pod. This ain't the place where you got to test people gangster and stuff like that, y'all. So boom, everything was going smooth. Everything was going smooth with Mike and Walter. For the most part, the next time I talked to Walter told me that dude, you know what I mean? Mike was kind of like a celly that, you know, like he all right, like he don't talk that much. You know what I mean? I said, he be letting you look at his TV? He said, yeah, I got to look at what he looking at though. I said, for real? I said, what he be looking at? He was like, he don't watch nothing but the History Channel. You know what I mean? I'm like, he don't watch no sports. And he was like, man, he don't watch no sports. He said, man, I was standing up at the door watching the game the other day on the big TV. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's crazy. So I'm like, you ever asked him, can you watch sports? Like, you know what I mean? I know that's his TV. He was like, man, that's his stuff. Like, I don't, you know, like, you know, if he got it up, he on the History Channel, he watches something, I'll just watch what he watch. I said, so if he leave out the room you want to watch, do he cut his TV off? He was like, yeah, he cut that joint off. I was like, I said, oh man, I said, man, that's messed up, man. I said, he cut the TV off on you, bro. He was like, yeah, he cut it off. So I'm like, man, you are. I said, man, it's his stuff, man. I was like, man, it is what it is. So as a little time went on, you know what I mean? They start moving dudes in the jump. New dudes coming in the jump, new dudes coming in the jump. You know what I mean? Like, they end up moving this dude in there from Northern Virginia. This dude, if he wasn't from Northern Virginia, he was from DC. But his name was Thump. You know what I mean? Now, anybody named Thump, like you got a name like Thump, you got to know how to thump. That's what I'm assuming. You know what I mean? Like, for me seeing who he was a bald head dude, got kind of muscular. You know, he had like the little light beard. And for real, he ain't really talk to nobody either. You know what I mean? He'll talk to a few people. You know what I mean? Now, I'm thinking he was about to go home too because they moved him in the jump. So he came in the jump. He got in the phone line with the Richmond dudes, but I knew he wasn't from Richmond. He just knew somebody from Richmond. So he in the pod. So it's all type of different people in the pod, y'all. The pod is filled with all type of different characters. I promise y'all, man. So like through this whole situation right here, like the whole time I've been in there, like, you know what I mean? There's been no BS after the situation that I seen when I first came in there. But like now it's really like dudes just really programming, dudes working out, dudes go outside, dudes get on the phone, dudes take their butt in the cell and just rap for that day. We on to the next day. That's all dudes used to do in there, kind of like when this was going on. But it ended up getting slightly crazy because they started moving a few of the gang members in there. Then that's when you started seeing stuff. That's when you started seeing stuff happening, people getting into it, and like, you know, stuff over the phones, like all that was going on. You know what I mean? So remember another time, y'all, this is my word, the dude Walter, man, like I seen him, this was on the weekend too. Y'all gotta understand, like on the weekend, like we like, this is how they feed you on the weekend on Greensville. Like, first of all, the breakfast tray probably be some garbage. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just letting you know that now. Like when I was there, majority of the time on the weekend, breakfast tray some garbage. The only good breakfast tray Greensville had to me was pancakes, and that was eatable. You know what I mean? I used to go get that. But any other stuff, any other tray, garbino, like I'm talking about some nasty looking stuff. So you don't really eat for breakfast. You know what I mean? Lunchtime come around, lunch gonna be beans or maybe a cold cut sandwich. It's not gonna be nothing exclusive for lunch. Dinner roll around, it's majority beefaroni, some garbino, stuff like that. They're not feeding you good on the weekend. You're gonna have to eat out your box on the weekend on Greensville. That's my word. So I can remember a time, Walter, man, this was on the weekend, and I seen Walter, man, like he just was looking so upset. You know what I mean? So I'm walking laps with the dude from Lawrenceville, like me and him, like we ain't on the phone, we waiting on the phone or something. We'll just kick it and just walk. We just be talking about like what we gonna do when we go home, just walking laps and we kicking it, you know what I mean, chilling. And as we come back around, I see Walter sitting like at the table, but he don't have his body on the table with his arms on the table. He like spent to the side and like he got his elbows on his lap and he kind of like in deep thought. So I ain't say nothing to him when we spun past him the first time. The second time we spun past him, I slowed down. I was like, what's up, man? He was like, nothing, man. I was like, what's up? He was like, hungry, man. I was like, you hungry? I was like, you ain't got nothing to eat. He's like, I ain't got nothing, man. I looked up, I seen Mike coming down the steps with a bowl. He done got a whole, I didn't even know he had a little table over here. He got a whole table, he making a meal, he getting a meal right. He got his onions, he got green peppers, he got his pickle, he got the sausages, he cutting it up, and he got the food in the trash bag, and he forming it right there on the table by himself. He got gloves on, and he just making it. So I'm like, you ain't eating with your roommate? He was like, nah, man. He was like, man, like, it was crazy too, man. Cause like, you know, breakfast was some garbage. And like, you know, I asked him for a soup. He was like, I asked him for a soup. And when I asked him for a soup, you know, he told me he was about to make his meal, man. He said he was gonna make something to eat for him and his brother upstairs. I'm like, his brother upstairs? He was like, yeah, his Muslim brother. So I'm like, damn, he ain't even offer you, like, since you was selling, like, help him make the meal, or here go a couple of soups to hold you over because I'm about to eat. Like, he ain't offer you none of that. He was like, he ain't offer me nothing, man. He was like, the whole lockdown, he was just up there cutting the pickle up right in my face, man. He was like, man, I'm hungry, man. I was like, man, hold on, man. I went to the cell. I came back down the steps, man. This is my word. I gave him 4 bags of chips. I wasn't even eating noodles at the time, so I didn't have no noodles to give him. I said, see if you can trade these for some soups. You know what I mean? They cost more than soups, but I'm like, see if you can trade these for some soups. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, that's crazy. So me and the dude from Lawrenceville kept spinning. So as we spinning, I'm telling him what happened. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't really hear what me and Walt was talking about. So he like, yo, that's crazy, man. He was like, I can't eat in front of my roommate like that. He was like, I could see if my roommate was in the way. He was like, Walt ain't in the way. I'm like, yo, I don't, Mike, wow. Like, you know, I can't tell a person what to do with theirs. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell him. Maybe he looking at it like he only dealing with Muslim. You know what I mean? Like, you have some Muslims that probably look at stuff like that. I know tons of Muslims and they don't look at stuff like that. But like, he just was like, he wasn't really dealing with nobody unless you was Muslim. Like, he didn't care if you was hungry. He didn't care if you needed a helping hand. He didn't care about nothing. He in there clapping his roommate with no rehabilitation, y'all. So boom, it was crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I can't tell a man to do this stuff. But at the same time, though, like, I was just like, that's wild. Did I look at it like I could do something about it? No, I wasn't looking at it like that. I'm just looking at it like, that's crazy. Like, I ain't gonna eat in front of my roommate. Like, Walt ain't no bad dude. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, he's supposed to have his own stuff, but like, you gonna eat in the man's face, man? Like, that's crazy. So we end up locking down for another count. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's crazy because Walt got to go in there and smell that good pizza old boy just made. You know what I mean? Mike just, he got to go smell the aroma of that pizza. So I know his stomach gonna be hungry, but I gave him something. I don't know if we traded it for some soups. But I gave him like 4 bags of chips, you know what I mean? I looked out for him because I'm about to go home, y'all. Like, I really don't care about none of these zooms and whams no more. I'm finna go home and eat real food. You dig me? I'm finna go eat real food. Y'all think I care about a bag of chips? I looked out for him. Here you go. You know what I mean? Looked out for Walt. So I took care of that situation for him. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's only just the food thing. You know what I mean? I'm thinking it's only just a food thing. Like probably like maybe he probably like feeling like, like I ain't holding a grown man down. You know what I mean? Because some dudes look at it like that. Because you'll look out for somebody that's your roommate, and then you'll get tired of looking out for him. You be like, man, I'm done looking out for him, man. Like, I don't want to keep, he just want me to just keep looking out for him. But Walt was the dude, he would be like this, look, what's up? What you know how to do, Walt? Look, all right, look, I'm gonna help you start off. Let me order you this and order you that. You know how to make this? I'm gonna sponsor you, bro. Look, do this. And Walt would be on program with it. I know he would. You know what I mean? Walt was just a dude that was just down on his luck. You know what I mean? But like I say, I'm thinking that just not offering nothing, the TV situation, even though it was a few situations, I'm thinking that's probably just the only thing that's going on. So boom! I remember another time, goddamn, the nigga Walt come down the steps mad as a bitch. So when I look up now, they slept on the top tier. You know what I mean? I slept on the top tier in cell 36 on the back wall right there. They slept like I say like 20, maybe 25, 26, one of those type cells. But I can look, if I'm downstairs, I gotta look up this way to see they cell. And when their door is open, I can see they cell. Now, I'll be a fool if I tell you every time they cell door open, I went and noticed this pretty prayer rug that used to be in their cell. You know what I mean? Like the junk was beautiful. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I've been locked up now already 15 years and change. So like I done seen all type of prayer rugs, I done seen them. Was I a guy that like to be a prayer rug fan? Because you don't have to be a Muslim to be able to have a prayer rug. But majority of the Muslims had prayer rugs. Like you was able to order these prayer rugs from a little I forgot the name of the people that used to sell them, but you can order the prayer rugs and they had all type of colors. So I have seen all colors, but I would notice every time that Walton door open, it was like the dude Mike had it covering his bed. Now he would probably use it when he prayed, take it to Juma and all that stuff. But he had like a line under his bed because he was on the bottom bunk. Walter was on the top bunk. He would have the prayer rug coming down from his bed with his head. It would be at blocking his face. Dudes would have cuts like that. Mine was a sheet. He had a prayer rug. Now his prayer rug was like this orange and tan mixed with like some type of like a real dark sweet green. Like I don't know what green this was, but it was like orange, tan, and burgundy with the green in it. And it just was a nice prayer rug. Now, was I looking at it like, yo, that joint official, bro? Like, damn, where you get that from? No, I wasn't looking at it like that. I just used to notice it because it was so bright. And I know a lot of people noticed it, you know what I mean? So the day I'm talking about, I see the dude Walt coming down the steps looking angry. He looking mad. So I see him like, Walt, what's up, Walt? He ain't say nothing. He just kept walking. I look up. I see the dude Mike standing in the door. You know what I mean? He's standing in the door like he in the door and he just looking. He ain't saying nothing. He just looking. He got his kufi on. He looking. I guess he looking for where Walter went at. But Walter came down the steps, went down by the window. So he can't see where Walter went at because Walter ain't in pod view for him where he can see. So he looking. And then I look, I saw the prayer rug, nice. You know what I mean? The prayer rug looked real nice. I go down there, I'm like, yo, Walt, what's up, man? What's going on? He like, man, this dude say, man, I went in his stuff, man. I was like, what did he say missing? He was like, man, this man just accused me. He was like, man, I ain't saying you did it, but ain't nobody else could have been in here and took my stuff. I said, what is it, man? He said, man, it was 2 bars of soap. I said, 2 bars of soap. I said, did you take the shit? He was like, no, I ain't take it. But the way Walt said it, I ain't even gonna lie. Now that I rewind the tape back, like it sounded shaky. It sounded real shaky to me, y'all. He was like, no, I ain't take it. I ain't take it. I'm like, yo, bro, listen. Like, for real, bro. Like, you ain't gotta take nothing, bro. Like, I told you, if I got dudes to look out for you, man. As I'm talking, my homeboy from Lawrenceville pull up. He like, what happened now? He like, I was like, man, Mike saying that Walt took 2 bars of soap. He was like, man, you stealing now, man. Man, Walt was like, man, I ain't steal nothing, man. You know, but like, he said he counted his stuff and he came back and it won't the exact count. So he's saying it could be nobody in the cell. He ain't pull up on me aggressive. He just was saying like, you know, nobody else could have done it. Like why'd you take my stuff? You know what I mean? So I was like, damn, so that's why you mad, kind of like you mad. He was like, yeah, because I ain't take it. I ain't taking stuff. But like I say, when I rewind the tape back, the more and more like no eye contact, kind of like when he explaining his story, like he talking to me and the dude from Lawrenceville, but as he explaining the story, you know, I'm looking in his eyeballs. Like I kind of want to scan him just to make sure, you know what I mean, you're not really a thief, you know what I mean? So he like, yeah, like, you know, like, yeah, like, man, I ain't steal it, man. Like, you know, like, he telling me to do this. And like, and he told me nobody else can be nobody else. And I want the one to do it. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So I'm like, so what he saying? He was like, man, he ain't saying nothing, man. I just told him, man, like, don't be accusing me for this. And I just walked out the cell. He was like, man, he better watch himself, man. For real, man, he better watch himself, man. Like, because he be in there carrying me, man. I ain't used to nobody carrying me, Weezy. I'm like, I know you ain't used to nobody carrying you, bro. But look, at the same time, though, Walt, man, like, everything is his. Like, you can't get mad over the next man's stuff. And I said, if you would have stole my stuff, you was my roommate, bro. I said, I don't care how much time I had. I said, bro, we fighting. He was like, but I ain't steal nothing out of the cell. I ain't take nothing. Why would I steal from my roommate? I'm like, man, why would you steal from your roommate? Like, I don't know why would you steal from your roommate, man. You know what I mean? But the man probably really know what he got, Walt, man. I was like, man, you need to make sure this problem gets straightened out, man. Like, real talk. So you know you're Muslim, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, man, I don't care nothing about that, Weezy, man. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about him being a Muslim. That don't scare me. That don't be nothing. That man, me and him can be bestest friends. But he ain't up there looking out for me like he's supposed to. I'm his roommate. That man eat in front of me. I can't change his channel. He just keep whining about it. So like, after feeling sorry for Walter, I ain't even gonna lie. After feeling sorry for him in the beginning, you know, I looked out every time, let him be an ear to talk to, all this. Like, after looking out for him, like, and hear how he's talking now. Like, the way he's talking now, he's giving me vibes on like the dude Mike owes him. You know what I mean? Mike don't owe you, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying in my head. Mike don't owe you to do nothing. Now, is it messed up? In a sense, it is. You know what I mean? If it was like that, I wouldn't even want dude around me in the cell if I'm gonna carry it like that. You know what I mean? I think I had to carry it like that like one time out my bed. You know what I mean? Because usually I'm in the cell with somebody I'm cool with. But like, if I'm in the cell with somebody that I don't know like that, like, I will offer him, like, if I'm eating exclusive, I'm like, bro, you want a soup, bag of chips? You can't get none of this. I ain't sharing or nothing. You can't get a piece of the bowl pizza. You can't get half of the bowl pizza. You can't even get a spoon of the damn bowl pizza. But I got a soup and a chip game. You want this? I'm gonna make sure you eat. I'm not just gonna eat in your face. And that's just how I carry it. Like, I can't tell Mike how to carry it. You know what I mean? But the whole time, Walter is just giving me vibes that dude on. So it started like making me feel like, man, Walter think dude's just gonna give him stuff. Like, for real, Walter need to get him a hustle. He need to get him a job. He need to get something, goddamn it. Because right now, Walter, your ass in a goddamn way, y'all. So boom. Walter pissed me off with that, man. Me and bro kept walking, man. I'm like, man, I'm out of here, Walt. I ain't got time for your shit, man. I was like, man, I hope you ain't steal that man's shit. That was my last word, so I peeled off. I mean, went on about my day. I ain't pay that shit no mind. The dude Mike ain't make no scene. He ain't out like he was on no crazy shit or nothing. He ain't do none of this shit, so everything went smooth. Everything went smooth for a while, man. Like, I'll say probably like 2-3 days go by. You know what I mean? I see Walt looking like the same Walt. Like, he acting like ain't nothing going on. He acting like, you know, the same thing with his roommate. He ain't come to me whining about it this time, but like, you can just look in his face and tell when something happened with him and his roommates. Like you can tell, like, he always in deep thought about it. Then he wants you to be like, what happened? And then he gonna come with the whine game again. So I'm egging the joke. Like, I see him, but I ain't in the house. And what's up? You know what I mean? So he see me get off the phone. He's like, Weezy, shh, I can't do it no more, Weezy, man. I can't do it no more, man. I said, can't do what? He was like, can't be in his cell no more, man. Dude, man, dude different, man. Like, he just cold-blooded, man. He was like, man, I told you the man watch the History Channel. He said, man, we up that junk, man. We watching Pawn Stars. You know what I mean? Y'all know what Pawn Stars is, the pawn shop junk. A lot of people watch that junk. That junk came marathon game on the History Channel all over prison. So a lot of dudes will watch the dudes, you know, the dudes in California, they got the pawn shop, be buying all type of historic stuff. Like, we watch stuff like that because we didn't have nothing else to do. He was like, man, we in there. He got it on History Channel. He said, so Pawn Stars had a reunion, so I done got comfortable on the top bunk. I'm like, this Weezy. And I'm watching it, you know. And as soon as I roll over and start getting comfortable with it, it's like, man, they just counted, Weezy. We done for the night, but they just counted last night. He said, man, as soon as I get comfortable and roll over, he said, man, that man got about his bed and said, psh, and cut the TV off. I said, he cut the TV off? He said, man, he cut the TV off, Weezy. I said, damn. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, dang, cut the TV off for your dumb ass. I said, your ass, that bitch looking at the black box. I said, that's the name of that TV show, the black box, goddamn it. That's what the hell your ass was. He was like, man, go ahead, Weezy, man. No, that shit fucked up, man. He's like, man, for real, man, owe me, man. I'll take that nigga shit. I'm like, bro, listen, bro, look, calm down. I said, first of all, why would you take next man's shit? Because he don't want you to fuck with his shit, bro. I said, that's his shit. You gotta have your own shit. I said, why you ain't got no TV, bro? How long you been locked up? He said, I've been down 9 years. I said, how the fuck you ain't got no TV, Walt? He said, man, I had one, man. My homeboy gave me one before he went home. Then when they did shakedown, they found out my number one right on the TV and they took it. I said, I ain't buying no damn TV. Fuck it. Every room I've been in, my roommate got a TV. I said, man, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up way to think about shit, man. You relying on your roommate to watch TV, bro. I said, man, you need to get your priorities in order, man. When you go home, you can be in a goddamn way walk, man. I said, man, you wildin', man. I said, but look, furthermore though, bro, I said, yeah, that was fucked up. He made you watch the black box last night, you know what I mean? I said, but it's his TV again, bro. What you want me to tell you? And I spun on him. He was like, man, come on. I was like, man, look, bro. He was talking to me about this shit. I'm trying to go home. My mind is on the screen. I ain't trying to hear this shit this nigga talk about, y'all. So boom. I ain't trying to hear that shit. But through all this, more and more, Walt was getting angry and angrier. Walt was getting mad. Did I think he was getting angry to plan something to do some crazy stuff? I wasn't thinking he was trying to do stuff like that. But he's getting mad and madder about this whole situation, y'all. So I can remember another time, probably about a week go by. You know what I mean? A week go by. I'm on the phone. You know what I mean? I just finished sitting at the table with Jersey. You know what I mean? The dude I tell you that's named Jersey that be in the go home part with me. You know what I mean? He's not about to go home, but he's on the phone line with me. Me and him got a phone together with Doc, and it was me, him, Doc, my bro from Lawrenceville. So, you know, I just get off the table. I just get off the table with him. I go use the phone. So I'm on the phone. Now I look up. I see the nigga Mike, man. That nigga coming down the steps. That nigga skipping them jumps. That nigga like, that nigga haul ass down them damn steps. He was going two. You gotta be careful doing 2 at a time steps in penitentiary. You gotta be damn near a cat. Because if you bust your ass, you going flying. That nigga was like, he had the railing. He was like, he came down. That nigga went to the door. That nigga said, call brother. You know what I mean? So I don't know who he talking to, but he said, call somebody, brother, somebody. You know what I mean? Man, this word, some old dude come to the door from upstairs. You know what I mean? So he talking to him. He was like, yo, hey, yo, man. Somebody stole my shit, man. And I think it's my roommate. So I looked when he said that. I'm on the phone. I'm like, what the fuck Walter at? I started scanning. I had to turn the scanner back on, y'all. I'm like this on the phone. There's Walter. Fucking thief. Nah, I ain't say that, but I spot him. Walter right there. He's standing all the way back. I tell you, dudes going that back door at all the way in the back of the pod to go smoke at. So he's standing way back there. So he can hear slightly, but the dude at the door, I'm right by the phones. The phones is by the door. So that's how I hear Mike snapping. So Mike snapping. So the dude like, man, holler at me at dinner. 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 So, goddamn, I'm like, oh, shit. So I get off the phone. I get Jersey the phone. Jersey getting back on the phone. I was like, you heard that shit? Jersey was like, shh. He was like, man, his roommate stole son. I was like, what do you think he stole? He was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So Mike come back. Mike got that storming back upstairs. He go back in his cell. You know what I mean? He gonna put his sneakers on. You know what I mean? Mike, he was a little short, kind of brown skin. He wasn't a big dude at all. You know what I mean? But I never seen him in action. And when somebody steal from you, you'll see dudes moving differently. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's battle time. You know what I mean? You don't know what's about to go on. So he run back in the cell. He come back downstairs. He got the sneakers on. He looking crazy. He see his cell. He was like, yo, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. He go holler at his roommate. He back there just talking to him though. You know what I mean? Like he talking to him. You see he got his arms crossed. He keeping his composure because he talking to Walter. And Walter like, you just see Walter like, Walter probably like, why would I steal from my roommate? We in the cell together. Why would I steal from my roommate? It don't make sense. Why? So niggas like, damn, Walter's stealing this shit. So I'm like, damn, man, like, cause for real, it wasn't no thieves in the pod. Like for real, I'm not saying nobody would steal, but like nobody was stealing that I knew of. Like it wasn't no thieving shit going on in there. That's my word. So everybody trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Walter's name is in the middle of this whole shit because Walter is the one that's his roommate. Walter is the one that got accused of stealing his soaps the first time. So Walter is the blame for this whole shit. So he don't get at Walter or nothing. This is his roommate. If he can get at him, he would have got him when he was in the cell. But he talking to him out in the pod. You know what I mean? So we still don't know what's missing. Nobody know what's going on. So they call standby for dinner. So Mike go upstairs, grab his shirt. He's definitely going to dinner so he can holler at the other Muslims. That's what they usually do. He's going to holler at his people. You know what I mean? Let them know what's going on. Now, we waiting for Child. Walter just got this dumbest look on his face. Like he standing by himself like in the top 5. We call it the top 5, dead or alive. The dudes that be standing at the door, waiting for Child, waiting for the lady to be like, exit for Child. They run the Child. They be damn near running. They speed walk, but they damn near run to the Child off for no reason. Everybody getting the same damn trait. But Walter's in the top 5, goddamn it. He right there standing there looking dumb as a bitch. He by himself. He got his shirt tucked in looking preppy as a bitch. He got this dumb ass look on his face. And I'm like, I tell bro from Lawrenceville, I said, man, Walter did that dumb ass shit. I said, man, that's crazy. That's dude from Lawrenceville. I said, what he steal? What he steal this time? I was like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. So everybody waiting to go to trial. Niggas coming out. You see Mike talk to some dude. After Mike talk to this dude, now the whole pod know what's going on. Goddamn, niggas like, yo, goddamn, they say, goddamn, nigga Walter stole the nigga prayer rug. It's like, what? It's prayer rug. So I think immediately, I started thinking, I'm like, oh, that exclusive ass prayer rug. But I'm like, still though, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? How you gonna hide that? Like, what the fuck Walter got going on? So I started thinking some more. I'm like, damn, Walter, like, fuck it. I'm gonna eat one way or the other. This nigga don't wanna look out for me. Then goddamn, I'm gonna look out for myself with his shit. So I'm like, that's fucked up if Walter did do that type shit. And I'm like, damn, he stole the prayer rug though. I'm like, man, that shit probably in 8 building some goddamn where. And I said, Walter slung that shit. That shit gone. So they call extra dinner. We go to dinner. You know what I mean? As soon as we go to dinner, I look, it's like 3 dudes waiting on the boulevard, waiting for our pod to come. So when they come, they blending in with us. They in the pod upstairs, but you know, they can wait, lay back, all that shit, wait for our pod to come out, and they can just go eat with us. Now, they got in the line with us, they coming in with us. Mike sit at the table, he talking to them. You can tell the dudes Muslims he talking to, so he talking to them. You know what I mean? Talking to them. They trying to figure it out, like, yo, man, that shit crazy. So the police in the child hall, so they can't make no scene in the child hall about nothing, but they don't want to get caught up coming in the pod either. You know what I mean? It ain't like Lawrenceville where you can slide in and be able to get out. No, you might be trapped unless it's outside record dinner. That's your only time to get out. You know what I mean? If you in somebody else's pod. So they talking to him. So they trying to figure out what's going on. You see Mike kind of breaking it down and he telling them about his roommate. You know what I mean? He trying to figure out what's going on. Man, this is my word. Muslim dudes was like, man, as soon as you find out who it is, you already know what to do. You know, I already know what to do. And Mike looking like, man, he can't believe somebody stole his prayer rug. That's the type of face he had. He had the face like, man, I can't believe somebody stole my prayer rug. So they told us to leave child. We leaving child. We going down the boulevard. He talked to the Muslim dude some more. They left kind of early. So by the time everybody's coming back in the jump, like our part is coming back in, they outside the salad port. So they outside the salad port, they're standing there and he talking to him. Mike talking to him. His back is to us coming in, but the Muslim dudes is facing us. And we come in, they kind of just looking at everybody like, I walk by like, man, what the hell you looking at? I ain't steal the damn prayer rug, y'all. So boom. Damn, it's crazy in the pod now. Now, this is a situation where I'm seeing the first time somebody's stuff got stolen on Greensville. I didn't seen it everywhere else. This is my first time witnessing on Greensville. Mike is doing the opposite of that. I saw a lot of other dudes do though. And y'all know I talk about it in my stories. Usually somebody snaps out loud, they cut the TV off, they make an announcement. Usually somebody snaps out loud, cut the TV off, make an announcement, and they say they coming to search sales. You see all type of tactics when somebody's stuff comes up missing. But this time, we dealing with a Muslim community. The Muslim dude, Mike, was like just real, like still quiet about it. You know what I mean? I felt like he really didn't want to move until he can really find out who stole his stuff. That's what he was thinking. Like, I can't really jump out there until I find out who took my shit. Damn, I know my roommate took my shit. I just can't prove it. Now, when it's a situation like that, me personally, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like with a year left, and Walter would have done that shit to me, I would have beat Walter's ass and went to the hole. I don't give a damn. I got a year left. Like, what you gonna do with me? I would have whooped Walter's ass. He would have been the first person I would have had to whoop. Like, usually dudes whoop they celly first when shit come up missing, unless your celly is your man, your homeboy from the street, shit like that, then you know he ain't do it. But like when shit like that happens and you in the cell with somebody that's not your people's or homeboy, nothing like that, usually the celly getting his ass whooped. So that's what I learned. That's what I would have done to Walter. But Mike is still being quiet about it. He done locked down the cell with him. We come back out later on that night. The word is, man, prayer rug got stolen. You know what I mean? Like, people trying to find out. Doc pull up on me. Doc like, yo, Weezy. I'm like, what's up? He like, hey, you stole that man prayer rug. Walter stole that shit. I'm like, man, I don't know who the fuck stole it. I said, I ain't even talk to Walter. But apparently he's saying he ain't do it. You know what I mean? I was like, the dude Mike, he done went and hollered at the Muslims, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know what's going on. He was like, man, that fucking stealing shit. Doc said, that stealing shit, man. I fucking hate that shit, man. He was like, man, who the fuck took that man's shit? He was like, he probably goddamn sold that shit to somebody in 8 building. I said, that's what I was thinking. I said, for real, Walter would have been my prime suspect. Like, I don't care what nobody say. He would have been my prime suspect. So nothing went on, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Nothing went on. Those first 2 days, nothing went on. The next day, he hollered at the Muslims outside, running wreck, same routine. Nothing still happened. Walter sticking to his story. So we sitting at the table. It's me, Doc, the dude from Lawrenceville, and Jersey. We all sitting at the table. You know what I mean? Right by where our phone is at. We all at the table. We see Walter. Walker come walking by. Walter walk laps, dumb as hell. He walk laps like a goddamn Russian soldier. And they were like, So we sitting there looking at his dumb ass. When he do the first lap, he come around with the second lap. Like, whoa, come here, man. He come to the table, he standing by the table, like, what's up? I'm like, man, look, man, you got a lot of shit stirred up in here, man. I said, Walt, you stole that shit, man. You stole the man prayer rug, man. What the fuck you gonna do with a prayer rug, man? You not Muslim, man. He was like, I ain't take his prayer rug, Weezy. Stop playing like that. I ain't take his prayer rug. I ain't take his prayer rug, man. Stop playing like that, Weezy. I'm like, man, Walter, man, look, bro, like, if you did it, you know what I mean? Like, just go ahead and get it back again to the nigga, bro. I said, I'm telling you, bro, the Muslims gonna get on your ass, bro. Pause. Like, they gonna get on you, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, I ain't stealing Weezy. He just walked away from the table, went back to his marching. I'm like, this nigga's a fucking cold psycho. So I didn't give a shit no more. My days of looking out for Walter was over with. I barely didn't even want to know what the hell was going on from his own mouth for real, because he was prime suspect in this right here, man. Like, the more and more he talked about what his roommate didn't do, he started sounding like a hater. Like, in the beginning, it sounded like it was messed up. You know what I mean? But the more and more he went on about what Mike didn't do for him, it started sounding like a hater, man. So, like, I didn't really want to hear nothing from Walter no more at all, y'all. Like, he had, like, nothing he could come really talk to me about. Like, unless I was really trying to be nosy, in which I didn't give a fuck because I was about to go home. But this story is taking place right before my eyes. So I'm just feeling like, man, me and Walter really ain't got nothing to talk about because he looked guilty any goddamn way, y'all. So boom. Goddamn. I'll say like 2 more days go by. You know what I mean? Still no prayer rug. The whole time we in the block. You know what I mean? Nobody has acted like they even cared about where the hell the prayer rug was at. Like, this was the quietest thing that got stolen that I seen in prison in my life. Like, Mike didn't make no scene. He ain't do nothing. And I'm feeling like Mike didn't make no scene because he really know his roommate did it. So the whole time this prayer rug has been missing. Nobody has been saying anything. Nobody has been saying nothing, man. So it's this white dude in the block, man. And his name is Bobby, man. We're going to call him Bobby. That's not his name, but we're going to call him Bobby, man. Bobby was the dude that works out in the party, cleans up. You know what I mean? He was another one of the dudes that he helped the dude with a class. He wasn't about to go home. He was trying to make parole. Bobby was probably like in his late 40s. You know what I mean? He didn't look super old, but you could tell he'd been down super long. So he came out and clean, buff. He'd do all this shit. You know what I mean? This his job was. He'll be the cleaner at night, daytime, all that shit. So I see Mike talking to him. One day. Him and Mike is having a super conversation. And Mike is standing by him talking to him. Mike got his arms crossed, playing like, he just listening. He like, you know what I mean? Mike peeled off from him. You know what I mean? Mike peeled off from him. Goddamn, I look. Goddamn, nigga, Mike leave. When Mike leave, I look, Jersey is talking to the white dude. You know what I mean? The white dude go from talking to goddamn Mike, now he's talking to Jersey, my homeboy. So he go holler at Jersey. Goddamn, Jersey got a big ass smile on his face. You know what I mean? But I don't know what he was talking about. So when he leave Jersey, I go up the steps real quick, come back. By the time I come back, Jersey's standing over there where we be at. I pull up on Jersey. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on in here, bro? He was like, man, shit, man. Bobby told him, goddamn, he seen the prayer rug and Thump sale. I was like, Thump? Oh, the dude Thump. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, man, for real. He was like, man, look. So we standing we like in the back of the pod, like in the middle part, slightly under the TV. But the sales in the beginning, like you can see their sales with the window. They got a window that's right there. You can look in somebody's sale. So we standing right there, we looking right into sale, like 9 or 10, like almost close to the end. He like right there. And when you look in his joint, you can see if he on the bottom bunk, the joint covering his face. You know what I mean? The prayer rug is covering his face. I'll never forget that goddamn Dubai green they had on that shit. I don't know what color that was. That shit look like Dubai green, goddamn. That shit was green, orange, tan. You know what I mean? So I see the green. I'm like, oh, I see it from afar. I'm like, oh, like, yo, that shit is. So I'm like, damn, he told Mike. He was like, yeah, he told Mike. So I'm like, damn. He was like, man, shit, I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, damn. So the whole time in my head, I'm like, damn, I felt bad. Because I'm like, damn, Walter didn't do it. You know what I mean? But damn, this dude got the balls. Like, this dude got the audacity, man. Like, to just take the shit and just have it hanging up the whole time. Like, nobody paid it no mind. Nobody paid this shit no mind, y'all. So Mike go upstairs. You know what I mean? Mike get strapped up. You know what I mean? He don't go call the Muslim dudes. He don't do none of that shit. He go down to dude's sale. So now everybody's watching. You know what I mean? Now, not everybody, but me, Jersey, dudes like, we watching because we know the play. The white dude Bobby, he's watching, all us looking. He go to goddamn Thump sale. He goddamn go to Thump sale and shit. You know, there ain't no window in the joint. He go like this. He go to the joint. You know what I mean? Then I guess he said, yo, he put his face in front of the joint. You know what I mean? So you see, we can only see Mike back. So Mike is talking to him. You know what I mean? So I guess Mike was like, yo, that's my prayer rug right there. You know what I mean? So the dude thump, he get up. I guess he get out up, you know what I mean? Because next thing you know, like, you seen Mike kind of back up away from the window slightly. So that means he was kind of, the other dude, Thump was at on the other side of the window. So they talking, and goddamn, nigga Thump was like, man, what the fuck, man? Like, nigga, this is my prayer rug. Nigga, this ain't your prayer rug. And Mike was like, no, that's my prayer rug. I'm telling you, that's my prayer rug. That's definitely my prayer rug. He was like, man, this is my shit. This is my shit right here. So Mike was like, all right. He was like, man, the nigga Thump was like, yo, he called his homeboy. He said, yo, get my door open. Get my door open. Get my door open. His homeboy went to the booth. Hollered at the CEO, and push the door open. Goddamn, Mike seen the door, but Mike was like, Mike turned around. He go to his cell. He go to Thump's cell. I'm like, damn. I'm saying, damn, Mike, I know you gotta go because somebody stole your shit, but it's not a good idea, man, when you about to go home to fight a nigga named Thump. Y'all don't think a nigga named Thump don't know how to rumble? If you don't know how to rumble on your name Thump, you in the Thump goddamn way, goddamn. You don't have to sit away. This man named Thump. Man, this is my word, man. Mike came back. And Mike, I guess Mike was like, yo, that's my shit. Like, Mike don't never get loud. So his whole, like, the way he was moving, it wasn't even loud, but I guess they going back and forth. They going back and forth about it. Man, it's my word. That nigga Thump was like, man, that's my shit. And you're not getting your shit back. Point blank, period. Mike was like, man, come on, man. That's my shit. That's how you gonna carry it. Y'all gonna do it like that. That nigga was like, man, fuck you. Bring your ass in the cell. I'm like, oh my God. That nigga Mike was like, man, Mike ran in that bitch. Man, Mike ran in that bitch, y'all. Shh. Man, that man was on Mike ass like flies the shit. You hear me? Man, that man beating Mike ass. I'm like, oh shit. Man, he doing what he want with Mike, man. Don't look like somebody that can really fight. Like, as I'm seeing him, like, you can see the fight. Like, nobody is by the door. Like, he don't got his no friends holding him down. Dude, Thump, homeboy, he already know he can fucking thump. He got the fuck out the way and just was like over by the tables watching the fight. He won't by the door, so nobody's by the door. Everybody just looking in the cell at this damn fight. Man, this nigga goddamn Thump just looked like he knew what he was doing, man. That nigga Mike goddamn trying to, like, he got Mike trying to rush and scoop him. So he got Mike chest like this. Man, this is my word, man. That man got down, put that nigga in like some type of headlock jump. Next thing you know, Mike ass was in the air upside down. Man, that nigga had that nigga in a Triple H move from wrestling. Goddamn, that nigga, he Razor Ramon this nigga. Boom! He slammed the shit on Mike. Mike hit the ground. Boom! Mike jumped back up, start fighting again. He beating Mike. I'm like, damn. He taking his time. He talking to Mike ass. Come on. That's my prayer rule. Yeah, that's my prayer rule, motherfucker. Yeah, what the fuck you go? Yeah, he jabbing the shit out of talking to him. That's my shit. Two piece this dumb ass. What the fuck you gonna do? This is my prayer rule. I'm like, oh. Shh. I look at man, Walter standing back by the jump like this, watching it all the way in the back. He like, I standing there, no suspicion. I'm like, damn, this shit crazy as a bitch. He beat his ass. He's like, man, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my cell. Hey, somebody come get this nigga. Somebody come get this nigga, man. The dude that goddamn Mike we talked to, he came in, he looked, he was like, Mike on the goddamn ground, bleeding, all type of shit. I'm like, God damn. Thump like, man, get the fuck out of my cell, man. Get the fuck out of my cell. And he said, matter of fact, since you wanna come holler at me, the nigga wanna put me on blast. He said, your motherfucking roommate sold me the shit, nigga. Your roommate sold me the shit, Walter said. Walter walking up. Walter heard that shit. Walter got close. He was like, Walter went to the cell. He hauled ass to the cell. I'm like, scary bastard. I said, I knew he had something to do with this shit. He got down and said, yo, your roommate sold this shit to me, nigga. This my shit. I bought it, nigga. Holler at your roommate, nigga. And nigga Mike got up. I'm like, I felt sorry. When the dude get his ass up, I don't know why I be feeling sorry for the victim. Like, he just got up and looked. So he was like, lip was bleeding. He was like, I couldn't even believe it. He was like, he just walked away like that shit dripping, shirt bloody. He like, shot up them damn steps. He got up them damn steps. He go in his cell. All you hear is, motherfucker, you stole. Now, we can't really see what's going on. Next thing you know, the door closed. The lady closed all the doors that was open. Door closed. Them niggas in that bitch rumbling. Boom, boom, boom. My word, somebody getting their ass beaten there. Somebody's getting their goddamn ass. We like, damn, man, that's what Walter get. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm like, that's what fucking Walter get, man. That's what he get. You gonna steal the man's shit because he ain't feed your dumb ass. Man, you in a goddamn way, man. I regretted looking out for Walter. This is my word. I'm like, man, he beating Walter ass. Beat his motherfucking ass, man. Goddamn. The same dude that helped goddamn Mike up downstairs. He see he going up the steps slow. He like, he taking his time. They fighting. They was fighting hard as a bitch. Oh, here, go up the steps. He up. He was like, all right, come on, Walter, man. Let him go. Let him go. Walter was like, man, fuck this nigga. All you hear is Walter say, man, fuck this nigga. He was like, all right, man, all right. He's open his door. The CO was like, why ain't yourself? He was like, man, open this door. I gotta get my bowl. Lady was like, I said, CO a dumbass. She said, door, but he went in there. He was like, man, come on, Walt. Walt, come on, man. Walt was like, Walt came out the stairs. He was like, I ain't never seen Walt that damn sweaty. Walt was like, I did it because I wanted to, motherfucker. Because you a bitch. You a bitch, man. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nigga Mike was like, nigga Mike fucked up, man. He got his ass whooped by the nigga that bought the damn prayer rug and the nigga that stole the damn prayer rug. I never seen a situation like this, y'all. So boom. Man, believe it or not, man, this shit was so crazy. Mike locked down in a cell with this man. After the ass whooping, they got away with it. He got his ass whooped by both parties, which was crazy. And this is why I'm telling this story, because I never witnessed you get your ass whooped by both parties. This was nuts right here. This was nuts right here. But I'm a convict. I'm somebody that been down 15 already. So I already know what's about to happen. As soon as the Muslims hear about this shit is on. It's on. I already know it's on. I already know this shit is on, man. It's my word. Goddamn. We go to breakfast the next day. That nigga might come out. He got a scully tenant. He done stayed in the cell with the nigga that whooped his ass. Walter come out looking off like, fuck it. Fuck it, it is what it is. Goddamn. They tell us exit for breakfast. The Muslim dudes was right there waiting on his ass. He get to talking to them niggas. Goddamn, next thing you know, more Muslim niggas came out from 8 building. Them niggas right there. They like, yo, what's up? Who is it? Who is it? The nigga Thump ain't even come to child. This nigga Walter, goddamn, right there. He was like, yo, you right there. Mike was like, he right there. He ain't say nothing about Thump. He was like, he right there. He right there. He was like, Walter was like, next thing you know, Walter tried to run, dude. Clip Walter ass. Man, Walter failed, man. This is my word, man. Walter busted. When I say he busted his ass when a dude clipped him, Walter fell shoulder first, then his face hit. He was like, it's like he slid on the damn concrete. Man, that man hit the ground, man. Man, them Muslims beat his, man, they beat the shit out Walter's ass up. He was on, when he hit the ground, that shit took a lot of fight out of him, man. So I guess because he seen how many niggas was running down on him, he went instantly into ball up mode, man. That man started balling up. They started beating his ass. Mike came over there. I'm like, man, Mike, you funny as a bitch. You got there. You should have told on Stump. That nigga said, that's all you heard. Them niggas. Police came, they running from way down there. Police hauling ass. Them niggas ain't stop either. They beat that nigga ass. Police was like, stop. There was only 2 police. Like, stop. He pushed one Muslim come back. Man, they beat the living shit out Walter, dumbass, man. Walter was petty as a shit, man. Walter was petty as hell, though. We looking at that shit. They was like, y'all go back to the building. We was like, we ain't get our train. Like, man, y'all go back to the building. We had to go back to the building. Them people got down, locked our dumb ass down, locked Walter and Mike up. They came and packed their shit up. And we was locked down like for the rest of the day until like dinner time. Because this is breakfast when this happened. After dinner time, the doors open. This is my word. Stump still had that goddamn prayer rug. Stump still had that damn prayer roll. This is my word, man. But I didn't know it was gonna be repercussions behind that. Goddamn, the nigga Stump. This word, that nigga Stump. I don't know. He got shook. I don't know what it is because he a rumbling bitch. Man, that nigga Stump checked in. That nigga Stump checked in, y'all. That's my word. That nigga checked in and went to the fucking hole with the prayer rug. He built with that shit. Call it what you want. He probably felt like he ain't had no wins with all them damn Muslims. You know what I mean? And you gotta be smart. He a rumbler, but he was smart, man. But that was a crazy situation, y'all. That was wild up there when I was to go home block. I ain't gonna lie, niggas was maniacs, man. They got his ass whooped by both parties, but they got that nigga back. They got Walter dumbass back and they whooped his ass. They beat the living shit out Walter dumbass, man. But that was a crazy situation, y'all. And that's the end of the damn story. Y'all already know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. I definitely need y'all to stay out the way, man, just for a lot of reasons, man. Just because I care about y'all. I want to see y'all stay out here, man, enjoy what's out here, man. Like, it's nothing in there except stress. That's the only thing that's inside of prison is stress. That's the only thing waiting on you in there is stress, man. I'm letting you know now. Stress and maniacs. That's all that's in there, man. And I don't want to see y'all go, man. I want to see y'all live y'all life, and be out here with your kids and grow old with your family and see your parents grow old. Like, that's what life is all about. And that's why you should want to stay on the street, man. Instead of risking your life by breaking the law and doing crime, you should think about everything that I just told you first, man. And then you'll probably change your mind about what you're doing. Just stay out the way, man. That's all I want y'all to do, man. It's something easy, man. Period, man. But y'all already know the count, man. It's the weekend banger game. Y'all already know what I need y'all to do with this one right here. Like, share, subscribe to the show, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But y'all be safe, man. See y'all next week, man. Stay y'all ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.